Did you know that by the time you're 80 years old, you may have lost up to half of your muscle mass compared to your younger years? This isn't just about feeling weaker. A condition called sarcopenia is quietly affecting millions of seniors worldwide, robbing them of their strength, balance, and independence. Over 50 million older adults are impacted, and each year, more than 300,000 elderly people are hospitalized due to falls caused by weak muscles. However, new research from the Journal of Physiology has disproven the idea that muscle loss is inevitable with age. Some people in their 70s and even 80s have the strength, mobility, and appearance of someone decades younger, while others struggle with everyday tasks. So what's their secret? Unfortunately, 93% of seniors are unaware of the habits that can reverse or delay muscle loss. Most doctors don't even mention them. According to top researchers at the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School, there are science-backed daily habits that can help rebuild strength, restore muscle mass, and maintain independence well into old age. In this video, we'll break down the 7 daily habits of the strongest seniors, those who are still hiking mountains, playing sports, and outperforming people half their age. But before we dive in, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Let's get started. Habit number 7, hormetic stress. Most people assume that getting older means getting weaker and that muscle loss is just part of aging. But what if the real culprit isn't time, but comfort? One of the most powerful ways to preserve strength and muscle into your 70s, 80s, and even 90s isn't found in a pill, powder, or protein bar. It's found in something many of us try to avoid: stress, specifically hormetic stress. Hormetic stress is a special kind of short-term, controlled stress that can actually make your body stronger over time. You've probably experienced it without realizing. Ever taken a cold shower that jolted you awake or sat in a sauna and felt completely recharged afterward? Those aren't just mood boosters. They're activating powerful age-defying processes at the cellular level. When you expose your body to brief bursts of stress like cold, heat, or fasting, it flips on survival mechanisms that protect your muscles, boost mitochondria, and trigger repair hormones that keep your body younger. For example, ending your shower with just 30 to 60 seconds of cold water can increase the production of adiponectin, a hormone that helps prevent muscle breakdown. Regular use of saunas has been linked to 40% less muscle loss in older adults, according to a Finnish study. Even intermittent fasting, just narrowing your eating window to 8 to 10 hours a day, has been shown to boost muscle cell function by up to 10% in 12 weeks without losing weight or sacrificing strength. Isometric contractions, simply pushing or pulling against a stable object with full effort for just 5 to 10 seconds, can stimulate the same muscle-building signals as a full workout, but with far less strain on joints. The key is moderation. Hormetic stress works because it's temporary. Overdo it, and you'll get the opposite effect. But done right, it turns on longevity genes that keep your muscles stronger for longer. Despite all the science, this is still a habit most seniors overlook, either because it sounds too extreme or because no one has ever explained its benefits clearly. But now you know. If you're over 60, building a little controlled discomfort into your week, a cold rinse, a light fast, a brief muscle contraction, could be one of the smartest ways to protect your strength for years to come. Next, we'll dive into a daily habit that many seniors do with the best of intentions, but may actually be working against their muscle health in surprising ways. Habit number 6, protein timing. Most people know that protein is essential for maintaining muscle, especially as we age. But what many seniors don't realize is that when you eat protein may be just as important as how much you eat. This is where the concept of protein timing comes in. And for older adults, it could be the key to reversing muscle loss without changing your entire diet. As we get older, our bodies naturally become less efficient at using protein to build and repair muscle. Scientists call this anabolic resistance, and it means that simply eating protein isn't enough. You have to eat it strategically. Most seniors make one big mistake. They eat very little protein at breakfast and lunch, then try to make up for it with a big serving at dinner. But that one-time overload doesn't work the way they think it does. Muscles can only synthesize protein effectively for a few hours after each meal, roughly a 3 to 4 hour window. If you're only eating enough protein once a day, you're missing multiple opportunities to stimulate muscle growth. The solution? Spread your protein out. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal, including breakfast. Instead of just toast or cereal in the morning, try Greek yogurt, eggs, cottage cheese, or a quick protein smoothie. At lunch and dinner, stick with lean meats, fish, tofu, legumes, or dairy. In a study by the University of Texas, seniors who followed this strategy built 1.2 pounds of muscle in just 12 weeks without changing anything else in their routine. No extra workouts, no supplements, just smarter timing. Even better, spreading protein throughout the day also supports better blood sugar stability, appetite control, and even cognitive clarity, all things that tend to decline with age. Bottom line, if you're putting in the effort to eat enough protein, don't let poor timing limit your results. With a few small adjustments, your everyday meals can become powerful muscle-preserving tools. Next, we'll look at the vitamin that over 80% of older adults are missing and why getting it wrong could be quietly sabotaging your strength and balance. Habit number 5, vitamin D. When most people think of vitamin D, they think of bone health. But there's a hidden side to this essential nutrient, one that plays a critical role in preserving muscle strength as we age. Here's the alarming truth. Over 80% of older adults are deficient in vitamin D, and most have no idea. But what many seniors don't realize is that vitamin D isn't just for bones. It's also known as the muscle vitamin. That's because your muscle cells actually have vitamin D receptors, and without enough of it, they can't properly build, repair, or function. According to a landmark study published in JAMA Internal Medicine, seniors with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% greater muscle strength than those who were deficient. They also had significantly faster reaction times, better balance, and a lower risk of falls, all crucial for staying independent. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight, up to 50% less by the time you're in your 60s. That means even if you're spending time outdoors, you may still not be getting enough. The daily recommended amount for older adults is 600 IU, but research shows seniors that's far too low to reach optimal blood levels. Many experts now recommend 2,000 to 4,000 IU per day, especially if you're not getting daily sun exposure or eating vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish and fortified dairy. But there's a catch. If you supplement with vitamin D, especially at higher doses, you must also get enough vitamin K2. Without it, calcium can build up in the arteries instead of being directed to your bones and muscles, increasing your risk of heart problems. Vitamin K2 is found in foods like fermented soy, natto, hard cheeses, egg yolks, and organ meats. So what can you do? Ask your doctor for a vitamin D blood test. You want to aim for levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter. If needed, supplement with D3, ideally alongside K2, and add more vitamin D-rich and K2-rich foods to your diet. Try to get 15 to 20 minutes of midday sunlight, if possible. It's simple, but getting this one nutrient right can mean the difference between staying strong and steady or slowly slipping into frailty. Next up, we'll look at one of the most overlooked causes of age-related muscle loss and how something happening in your gut could be quietly breaking down your strength from the inside out. Habit number 4, chronic inflammation. When most people think of inflammation, they picture something obvious: swollen joints, redness, pain. But what if the most dangerous kind of inflammation is the one you can't feel at all? It's called chronic low-grade inflammation, or what scientists now refer to as inflammaging. And for older adults, it's one of the most under-recognized and most destructive drivers of muscle loss. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. As we age, tiny levels of inflammation build up in the body, often due to poor sleep, gut imbalances, stress, or hidden food sensitivities. This quiet, ongoing inflammation doesn't cause dramatic symptoms right away, but it slowly chips away at your strength. According to a groundbreaking study from Tufts University, seniors with high levels of inflammation lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with lower levels, even if they were eating the same amount of protein or exercising regularly. Why? Because inflammation interferes with the anabolic signals your muscles rely on to grow. In simple terms, it makes it harder for your body to build muscle and easier for it to break it down. But here's the good news. The strongest, most resilient older adults, often called superagers, have one thing in common. They found simple daily ways to keep inflammation low. Here are a few habits worth adopting. Prioritize quality sleep. Going to bed at the same time each night in a completely dark room can reduce inflammatory cytokines by up to 40%. Support gut health. The gut is a major source of inflammation in older adults. Superagers aim to eat 30+ different plant foods per week, plus fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut to feed healthy gut bacteria. Balance your workouts. Movement is essential, but too much intensity can increase inflammation. That's why many older adults thrive with moderate daily activity and just a couple of short, intense sessions per week. Eat anti-inflammatory nutrients. Foods rich in omega-3s, like fatty fish, curcumin from turmeric, polyphenol in berries, green tea, and olive oil, help calm the immune system and protect muscle tissue. Aim for 2 to 3 grams of omega-3s daily for optimal results. Still unsure about your inflammation levels? Ask your doctor for a high-sensitivity C-reactive protein test, HSCRP, a simple blood test that can reveal silent inflammation. Superagers tend to keep their levels below 1.0 milligrams per liter, while many seniors hover 3 to 5 times higher without knowing it. The bottom line: if your body is in a constant state of quiet inflammation, even the best diet or workout plan won't protect your muscles. Reduce the fire first, and your strength will have room to grow. Coming up next, a group of powerful micronutrients that act like behind-the-scenes support staff for your muscles, and why skipping them might be sabotaging all your hard work. Habit number 3, micronutrients. Protein, carbs, and fats usually get all the attention when it comes to diet. But if you're over 60 and trying to protect your strength, there's something else you need to focus on: micronutrients. Think of them as the unsung heroes behind the scenes. They don't build muscle directly, but without them, your body can't use the protein you eat or benefit from the exercise you do. Here's the catch. Most older adults are deficient in at least one of these key nutrients and often don't even know it. Let's start with one of the biggest players, magnesium, often called the forgotten electrolyte. Magnesium powers over 300 muscle-related biochemical reactions, including energy production, muscle contraction, and recovery. But more than 70% of older adults aren't getting enough. In one study, seniors with adequate magnesium had 30% stronger grip strength and better physical performance than those who were even slightly low. If you're looking to get more magnesium, focus on leafy greens, nuts, seeds, beans, and yes, a bit of dark chocolate. Next up, creatine. No, it's not just for bodybuilders. Creatine helps your muscles store energy and improves both strength and cognition in older adults. Daily supplementation with 3 to 5 grams of creatine has been shown to increase muscle mass, power, and even brain performance in seniors, especially when combined with resistance training. Then there's vitamin B12, especially important as we age. Why? Because your body's ability to absorb B12 drops significantly with age, especially if you take proton pump inhibitors or metformin, 2 common medications in seniors. B12 plays a key role in nerve health, energy metabolism, and muscle signaling. But the most effective form is methylated B12, methylcobalamin, not the cheap synthetic version you'll find in most multivitamins. Don't forget the trace minerals. Zinc supports muscle repair and immune health. Selenium protects muscles from oxidative stress. Chromium improves insulin sensitivity, helping nutrients reach your muscle tissue more efficiently. A long-term study from Tufts University found that seniors with optimal levels of these micronutrients preserved 22% more muscle mass over 5 years compared to those who were deficient. So what's the move? Don't guess. Ask your doctor for a micronutrient panel to identify your gaps. Prioritize whole foods rich in vitamins and minerals, and supplement strategically, not excessively, based on your body's actual needs. Because no matter how perfect your protein intake or workouts are, you'll never get the full benefit without the micronutrient support staff helping things run smoothly behind the scenes. Coming up next, a fascinating look at your brain-muscle connection and why preserving one very specific link might be the real secret to staying strong, coordinated, and independent well into your later years. Habit number 2, neuromuscular connections. When people talk about muscle loss, they often imagine shrinking muscle fibers or a lack of exercise. But what if the real problem isn't in your muscles at all, but in your nervous system's ability to control them? It's true. The connection between your brain and your muscles, known as the neuromuscular junction, plays a huge role in your ability to stay strong, coordinated, and independent as you age. And once that connection begins to fray, which happens faster than most people realize, no amount of protein or exercise will fully restore your strength. Here's the deal. After age 60, these neuromuscular connections begin to deteriorate rapidly unless they're actively maintained. Think of them like electrical outlets. If the wires are damaged, it doesn't matter how powerful the muscle is, the signal won't get through. But here's the good news. Recent studies show that certain habits can preserve or even rebuild these crucial brain-to-muscle pathways, helping older adults stay strong, mobile, and mentally sharp. So, how do superagers do it? Train for coordination, not just strength. Activities that require precise movement and timing, like Tai Chi, dancing, tennis, or even ping pong, challenge the brain and nervous system in ways that basic walking or weightlifting don't. In a 2020 study, older adults who practice coordination-based exercise twice a week preserved their neuromuscular connections 31% better than those who stuck to traditional workouts. Support your nerves with targeted nutrients. Compounds like alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl-L-carnitine help protect the neuromuscular junction from oxidative damage. Vitamins like B1 in its active form, benfotiamine, and herbs like huperzine have also been shown to boost acetylcholine, the key neurotransmitter your nerves use to activate muscles. Stimulate your vagus nerve. It might sound odd, but simple breathing techniques like box breathing, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, can increase parasympathetic activity and enhance neuromuscular signaling. Doing this for just 5 minutes a day can boost neuromuscular activation by up to 15%, according to recent research. Keep your mind sharp. Cognitive decline and muscle loss often go hand in hand. That's because the same neural networks involved in thinking and memory also help control movement. One study from Columbia University found that seniors who engaged in regular challenging mental tasks like puzzles, learning new skills, or memory games had better preserved neuromuscular function than their peers. While most fitness advice focuses on the body, superagers understand that if you don't train the brain, the muscles won't follow. And the best part? These habits are simple, enjoyable, and can be done at home. No gym membership or fancy equipment required. Coming up next, the single most powerful habit of all, one that researchers call the closest thing we have to an anti-aging drug. And it's not what you think. Habit number 1, progressive resistance training. If there's one habit that separates strong, independent 80-year-olds from their frail, sedentary peers, this is it. It's not a supplement, it's not a superfood, it's not even walking, swimming, or yoga, though those are great too. It's progressive resistance training, and researchers at Tufts University have called it the closest thing we have to an anti-aging drug. Here's why. After the age of 30, adults lose 3 to 8% of muscle mass each decade, and the rate speeds up dramatically after 60. But this isn't just about appearance or athleticism. Losing muscle means losing strength, balance, mobility, metabolism, and independence. And here's the most overlooked truth. Muscle doesn't stick around just because you stay active. To maintain, let alone build, weak muscle as you age, you have to challenge it. That's where progressive overload comes in. Superagers follow 4 key principles. Focus on intensity, not just movement. A short session of high-effort strength training does more for aging muscles than hours of light activity. In fact, a McMaster University study found that just 2 weeks of high-intensity training led to more muscle gain than 5 weeks of moderate exercise. The goal isn't to lift heavy. It's to reach muscle fatigue safely, that I can't do one more rep with good form feeling. That's where growth begins. Prioritize compound movements. Instead of isolating muscles with curls or leg extensions, superagers stick to full-body exercises that mimic real-life movements. Squats or chair stands, push-ups, even on a wall, rows or pulls with resistance bands, deadlifts, or hip hinges with good form. These movements activate more muscle groups, trigger more hormones, and build functional strength you actually use in daily life. Track and increase difficulty over time. Using the same light weights forever won't cut it. Superagers track their workouts, even just in a notebook, and aim to do a little more each week. More reps, more resistance, more time under tension. Slow things down, especially on the way down. The eccentric phase, lowering the weight slowly, creates more tension and more growth without overstressing joints. It's one of the safest and most effective ways for older adults to build strength. Even seniors who start in their 70s or 80s can see huge improvements. A 12-week program of progressive strength training helped older adults gain over 3 pounds of muscle and increase strength by 35%, according to a study from the University of Alabama. And along with stronger muscles came better brain function, denser bones, and improved blood sugar control, all from 2 30-minute sessions per week. Yet many older adults avoid strength training altogether, fearing it's too dangerous or not for their age. But the real danger is not doing it, because without resistance training, muscle loss is inevitable, and so is everything that comes with it: fragility, falls, and loss of independence. So, if you only adopt one habit from this video, make it this one: progressive resistance training. It's safe, accessible, and life-changing, no matter your starting point. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. A qualified trainer, physical therapist, or even an online guide can help you get started safely and confidently. There you have it. 7 powerful, research-backed habits that help seniors not just survive aging, but thrive through it. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, it's never too late to get stronger, sharper, and more independent than you were yesterday. Because aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. Not when science shows us exactly how to train smarter, eat better, and live stronger, one habit at a time. So, here's your challenge. Pick one habit to start with today. Not all 7, just one. Maybe it's adding 30 grams of protein to your breakfast. Maybe it's a 10-second isometric hold. Or maybe it's simply stepping into the sunlight for your daily dose of vitamin D. Whatever it is, do it with intention, then build from there. Because the effort you put in today is an investment in the future version of you, the one still traveling, dancing, and moving freely years from now. And now I want to hear from you. Which habit surprised you the most? Are you already doing any of these without realizing it? Do you know someone over 70 who inspires you with their strength? Drop a comment below and share your story. You never know who you might inspire next. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little strength boost today. Your next chapter of vitality starts now. Let's make it strong.